Hello, party people. Well, here goes nothing. Maybe sometime before the pandemic, maybe like a decade ago or something, without being too specific, someone in the household was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, otherwise known as MS. Now, it's not so much that the disease itself can be fatal, it's that the complications involved with the disease tend to be the reason why people die from it. I had a bad day today. It's a bad day if it's nighttime. I've only streamed once today. Within the past 24 hours, I streamed once. It took me a long time to even think about this. I deserve more. This shouldn't have to be the rest of my life. I deserve more in many aspects of my life. And sometimes there's an overwhelming sense of guilt that I owe someone, owe an organization, owe my birthright, my last name, etc. That I owe something, and only fulfilling that role will I understand true gratitude, right? I just feel like is this it? Should I be concerned about anything else in my life? It made me question even if this is my life anymore. And the people who asked me this question, they understand my answer. They don't agree with it, but they understand it. That answer being that the question being, are you sure you want to handle this the rest of your life as in my life? There's a key word there. That word is, are you sure do you want? I've never expressed what I want, let alone what I don't want in my life right now. I thought what I had was enough. I thought I had a good run. And I wouldn't say it's a want. I would maybe question whether it's a need. The point being, though, is if I could explain differences in culture to other people, I would have already. Either you get it or you don't. And I think there's a lot of people out there that don't get it. It's not my job to make them understand it. If you ask me, I'll explain it to you. If you just want to pretend trouble doesn't exist, if you want to pretend negative circumstances don't exist, then I want whatever it is you're on right now, because this seems to be really good shit. Because that's, I don't want to say delusional, but it sounds like a happy outlook on a negative situation. I've heard people tell me, like, when you're on your deathbed and you're looking back on everything, you don't want there to be regrets. But there being or not being regrets, it's not a choice. On the one hand, is partly a duty, is partly an obligation. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. I didn't see things playing out the way they played out so far. I mean, I thought, like, don't get me wrong, it's not like there's no quote-unquote joy in my life. I think the problem is there's not enough of anything in my life right now. There's not enough of things going on. There's not... how else do I phrase it? I don't know. I didn't ask for this. One thing, every once in a while there'll be a nugget of wisdom, but ever since the last I remember, at least what my father said to me, he said, in his broken English, I'll translate it, which means none of us know when we're gonna die. Could be tomorrow, could be 50 years from now. I'd be around 90. That's a long time. That's almost a century. And you know that's gonna happen, because, like, the people who don't take care of themselves, who aren't happy, they're the ones that live the longest. I mean, like, the good people, they have bad things happen to them. You know, why do bad things happen to good people, right? Yeah. I don't want to say it's a I have to situation. If I don't do it, who else is going to do it? Who's going to take care of the said family member of that mess? I look around, there's not exactly people lined up. Not exactly people of this bloodline who are volunteering for this thing. This is it a job? I don't know. Is this? I don't want to say it's a duty. I don't want to say it's a obligation. Like, as far as I can tell, you see, like, I don't want to say it because I don't 100% agree with it. Like, am I only doing this because no one else will? Is this a situation where I don't know? And I want to say, I think a lot of people are thinking this, is just not saying it. It's not fair. It's not fair to me. And the thing about that is, you can't really say that. And I'll tell you why. You can't say that because everyone thinks the person who has it the worst is the person with said disease. Now, Someone had the audacity to say to me the other day, maybe not the other day, a long time ago. They told me that I don't know what it's like for things to change in my life so much. And I looked at this person like, really? Really? How many hospitalizations? How much suicidal ideation? How much of that happened? But I don't know what it's like for my life to change. That's what you're telling me. Personally, I think I'm making the best of a bad situation. Like, I'm for the most part, I'm not moping around. Do I have my moments of weakness? Of course. Do I have my moments of feeling neglected? I mean, at the end of the day, if the timeline works out the way it's supposed to work out, I should be by all rights the only one left at some point. At some point, at some point, it would just be me. And for a long time, I thought that was terrifying. I thought that this particular bloodline was gonna die with me. And for a long time, I thought that was maybe for the best. Not trying to insult anyone, anyone's way of life, anyone's culture, anyone's sense of obligation. I know I said it's not those things, but the word strictly fits. And I can't help that. I did not design the English language. It's... At what point do the lines blur between what you're supposed to do and what you want to do? Because what I'm supposed to do is not entirely what I want to do. But sometimes in life, as I've learned, contrary to popular belief, you have to do things you don't want to do. For example, work. For example, familial needs. These things exist beyond my control. As far as I'm concerned, beyond the control of anyone else in this household. So I was told that it's gonna be easy. I just have to cook a couple times per day, and I go about doing whatever I want. Okay. Well, we'll see if it's that simple. Huh? How's that sound? Are you sure there's not a little bit of sugar coating on that? Like, are you sure it's not a little bit too simple? So it's because it sounds a lot more complicated than that. The way it was explained to me might sound, easy. I don't know, man. Just another cold and rainy night. Alright, I guess I'll start stream soon, I don't know. I had a good run. No, I don't know, I don't know how much, however much I do in the future, I don't know how much of it will be good. But then again, why does that matter? Who is judging how much good I do or do not do? And it's not an issue of caring what other people think despite popular opinion. It's just about being happy. It's about wanting, and more importantly, getting more of what makes me happy. Because from what I've learned, when you put someone else's happiness above yours, the both of you end up being unhappy. We're all human. We all sort of need all of the hierarchy of needs by Maslow. We sort of all need those, right? Usually. Some people don't get to the top level, but you get up there. You get up there. I wish there was just an easier answer to this. I don't think there is. And it just feels like there's a lot of waiting. I feel like all I do these days is wait. I distract myself, but at the end of the day, when I close my eyes, or if I stare up at that ceiling, it's a lot of waiting. What am I waiting for? I'm waiting for something to happen. And usually, at my age, at the age of others around me currently, that something that happens is probably not going to be a good thing. Some people might think otherwise, but for the people I like to think who know me well enough, I don't ask for a lot. I'm fine with a very simple, affordable life. I don't need fast cars and fast women. I don't need those things in my life. What I need in my life is more. What I need in my life is more happiness, more purpose. When you think about it and you ask yourself, if the situation was reversed, do you think someone will be there for you? For me, in my case, if I had something very dangerous in my life, who would be there for me for the long term? Who would be there for me until the bitter end? I don't know. I don't know who there is. And that just leads me to the conclusion that at a certain age, there won't be. Whether that be my age, someone else's age, the age of everyone else. There's a very good chance I will be the only one left. And when I look back on everything I've tried to do, everything I've done, is it going to be worth it? I know the answer to that already. I'm just hoping it changes. Even though it won't. Well, I just when I make videos like these and there's long pauses, it's not that I don't know what to say. It's that I have to be careful how much I say. I'm very careful with my choice of words in videos like this. I wouldn't say I have a lot of thoughts. I wouldn't say I have a lot of things to get off my chest to say out loud. There's a lot of stuff that I can't control. And the uncertainty of all of it, including being the last one left, that's the scariest part of all. Alright guys, take care of yourselves and each other.